I'm gonna do a story time on how my boyfriend broke up with me yesterday. I'm gonna start skinning hair as I tell you guys a story. Okay, don't mind the thing I'm watching in the background. Okay, here is how my boyfriend broke up with me yesterday. So, we were on the phone, and he was like, my friend dared me to say F you and I'm breaking up with you. And he was like, I'm the dare master, so I have to do it. And he said F you and I'm breaking up with you. And I was like, are you joking? And he said, yeah. And I was like, are you joking? And he said, yeah. Right, and the next thing happens, we're talking on the phone and he just hangs up and then calls me back and then just hangs up again and then just calls me back. And I texted him like 5 minutes later. I was like, why do you keep hanging up on me? And he was like, oh, I just can't call right now. And I was like, okay. And he was like, we're not a thing anymore. And I was like, you broke up with me? You said you were joking. And he was like, I was not, ... And earlier that day, he asked me how much I rated him, and I said a lot. And he rated me a 4, and I texted him. I was like, explains why you rated me a 4. And I was like, right before the school dance, we have a school dance and Valentine's Day. Like, really? And he just kept reading my text messages. And then he always, when we were dating, he always just read my messages and never responded. And I was like, you're doing what you did when we were dating. You're just reading my messages and not responding. And we haven't talked since. But we had a pretty good relationship. And he was just telling me earlier about how his and his friend, he was his like best friend, and his best friend is not, him and his best friend aren't friends anymore because his best friend is dating his ex-girlfriend. And a few days ago, he told me to not mention his ex-girlfriend's name or he will be depressed. And he's mentioned it so many times. It's understandable. So, now I understand. So, explains why. He said we were gonna last. He said we were gonna get married, brother. But I also thought we were gonna get married. I actually thought we were gonna last. Like, I literally thought we were gonna get married. And he just does that? Like, how stupid. And I told him the way he broke up with me was very lame. And I've had very difficult things with relationships. Like, every time I like somebody, they like me, and then I ask them to be my boyfriend, and they always, like, they ignore me. And this was the first person I actually thought, like, cared and actually wanted to date me, but obviously I was wrong. So I'm sorry if this happens to you.